What up, what up? It's time. It's time to be proactive, not reactive, right? We talk about it a lot, but are we actually practicing what we preach? Proactive, not reactive. What does that mean right now, right? Well, it means that we've got 50-something days left in the year. If you're watching this when I filmed it, you got 50-something days left in the year. We're in the last quarter. We need to prep on what's going to happen next year, right? The things that we do, the actions that we make and that we take today, we will not see effect until 90 days from now, right? Just because of you're doing the right things today doesn't mean that you're going to see them tomorrow. It takes time to see that effect. So we need to be proactive, not reactive. With that said, today we're going to go over a couple different things that are happening in automotive, specifically finance, how it could affect you, and what we need to do to be proactive, not reactive. Number one is the market is kind of shifting a little bit, right? The market's shifting a little bit, even though it's towards the end of the year. And write this down, 1 in every 7 customers currently that are buying a car in the United States of America over the last year have a credit score 650 or lower. 1 in every 7. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for all of us? Well, in finance, it means that we need to be aggressive with these lenders. We need to be aggressive with the programs. We need to push boundaries like back end, reserve, all of the things that the lenders can contribute to us, right? Or to our customer. We need to lean in on that. We need to be aggressive. I wanted a 650 to a 680 that made decent money on a newer vehicle, right? Those are some of our best deals that we produce, right? So we need to make sure that we know where to go with those deals at any point in time. We need to leverage our lenders. We need to understand our products. We need to know how to get, we'll say, tough deals done and get them done profitably, right? Also, the feds, this just in, the feds cut the rates, the national Fed rate, 0.25 to a half a point drop. What does that mean for us, right? It means that customers' expectations are going to be better rates, better deals, right? You even see the little picture beside, 4.3 to 4.7 mortgage rates, right? Been a while since we've seen rates like that. They are also planning on cutting the rate at least another half a point. So this is going to bring forward aggressive buyers, right? So we need to be prepared. We again need to know the program so that we're able to move deals around if need be, right? Mostly these bigger banks and organizations, they're going to move things around, right? They understand that the buyer's mentality and psychology, if they announce a rate cut, that they're going to have a bigger opening or more customers that they're going to preach to, right? So they're going to prepare for that. We're going to see on our end, eventually, again, it's not immediate, eventually, at least by the first of next year, we're going to see aggressiveness from the lenders. We're going to see aggressiveness from customers. They're going to want the best deal possible, whatever that means, and we need to know how to get them that deal. In other news, there's also some chip shortages, right? A lot of these manufacturers are using third parties to produce the chips and technology in these newer vehicles. First one impacted by this is Honda. Honda sent out an email to all of our Honda dealers, and I'm assuming it's nationwide, saying that they're going to cut back supply, right? They're going to stop production on certain models so that way they don't run into this problem full-fledged in the beginning of the year, right? They're going to slowly trickle out what they can. They're laying off employees. They're laying off workers. Same with Nissan, right? Nissan's one of the first ones to feel it too. This is almost like a turning point of when we had the chip shortage during COVID. We need to understand and let the customer understand, right? The biggest part of why you're watching this or why I do this in the market relevant trainings is because we need to stay educated within the market. Can you imagine that we bring this information to the customer or share with the customer? Hey, I get it, man. You bought a Honda for the last 30 years. I completely understand and agree, but we're going through some things as a country. We're going through some things as a world, right? We're going through things that maybe we can't control, and one of them being chip shortages and different technology shifts, right? Some of these manufacturers are having to go to different manufacturers for these chips and components because they're limited. Right? That could be another selling point for us. Another big thing that's hit the market right now, or that the focal point should be, is used EVs. Yes, you heard that right. Used EVs. Currently, in the pipeline, there's over 300,000 leases that are going to approach lease end at the beginning or towards the middle of next year. That means 300,000 barely used EVs are going to hit the market. That probably means we're going to be doing some more EV deals, right? That probably means that we need to lean in on this triangle, right? The one we talked about in the foundation, the products, the processes, the relationships. Do we have the right products to support an EV lease turn-in? Do we have the right products that we can present to the customer that will help protect them on a slightly used EV? Because I guarantee you we don't have all of the products that are available to help protect them at an extreme or an elite level. So make sure that when we're doing an audit, when we're preparing for the next year, which you should be doing now with 50-something days left, we should be preparing. This one thing I'd like you to do, okay? And I want you to text me what that one thing is in each category that you're going to focus on and that you're going to make sure to champion in the next year. What is it in processes? What is it in relationships? What is it in the product sides that we offer and that we sell to customers that we're going to lean in on, champion, and make sure that it gets done, or make sure that we're moving the ball forward, right? Are you going to develop a process for every specific type of deal, which I've asked you to do, and I know that a lot of you haven't done? Now's the time to do it, right before the new year. Iron out written processes for each deal type, right? Have everybody involved in that conversation. What about the relationship side? Are we going to dive in with our lenders like we preach on a monthly, a weekly basis, and not just, hey, what's going on, shoot the shit? Like, hey, what are you looking at? What are the programs? What are the guidelines? What are the customers? What's the customer avatar that you want the most of, right? How can I help you and you help me? Having those type of conversations. Relationships with our frontline warriors or our salespeople, right? Like, what are we doing to help them move forward in the next year? With our products, I just said, make sure that we have products to so that we're able to help protect EV customers, specifically 30,000 to 40,000 mile EVs. Also, we need to be auditing our product lists. I guarantee you there's another product or two that we could implement that would help us sell more products, create more money, and protect the customer better, right? So the big picture, there's a lot going on in the market, right? The automotive industry is ever changing. We all know that. If you've been in the automotive industry for a while, you understand it changes month over month, year over year. Like, we're always continuing to evolve and adapt and change. But this year, it's a little different, right? There's more pieces that are changing more than it has in a long time. AI is a big piece of that as well. If AI is not on your list to dive into, to educate yourself even more about moving into the future, into the next year, it needs to be. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, this F&I Planner that all of you have, I promise it will help you increase your sales, your profit, the money in your bank, right? I created this thing because I needed it. I wish I would have had it. I wrote it down on a blank notebook, right? Now you have it all structured in one spot. It's easy to keep track of, and it takes less than 3 minutes. Just a suggestion for the next year, right? Let's make sure to at least give it 67 days every day, and I promise you're going to see something from it. Right? So the big takeaways from today. Number one, 1 in every 7 customers are going to have a 650 or below credit score nationally. That's the average, right? Different markets are different, but overall, the credit scores have gone down a little bit. 1 in every 7 is a 650 or below. So we need to learn our programs. Also, chip shortage. Chip shortage with Honda just right now, Honda, right? And Nissan and all the other manufacturers are going to feel it eventually, right? So stay on top of that. Make sure to stay educated. Fed cuts the rate 1/4 point to 1/2 point, and it should be another 1/2 point by the end of the year. We're going to have aggressive customers that are very rate driven, rate conscious, and we need to have ways to make sure those deals are done, they're done profitable, and we're able to protect the customer, right? Gear your mind, be ready for the rate cuts and the program changes within our lenders. We need to keep conversation and relationships tight with them so that we can be the most profitable with the lowest rate, right? Next thing, 300,000 EV leases will hit the used car market early next year, in the middle of next year. Prepare yourself from products, relationships, everything in between, right? Making sure that we have the right products to provide for our used EV market, making sure that our processes are buttoned up. A lot of the EV customers are different, right? A lot of the EV customers want it at the ease of their fingertips. So is our process seamless? If somebody wants to buy a car from their couch or from their office, can they do it, right? That's the ultimate goal. The next thing is making sure that we wrap up 2025, wrap up this year with a path, a blueprint of how we're going to be even more successful for next, right? Again, I'm going to leave you with this saying, be proactive, not reactive. Let's be prepared, right? Let's be prepared for what is coming and what has already been upon us. Let's rock 800%.